Let's talk now about context mapping, the other big topic that we said that we were going to cover in this module. When working on a project using DDD, there are normally multiple bounded contexts involved. Think about other applications, systems, or ongoing projects that your application will need to integrate with. To visualize this, we typically build a diagram with the different bounded contexts and the integration needs between them. Roughly speaking, context mapping are the different lines that connect the different bounded contexts. In other words, these lines indicate that two bounded contexts are mapped in some way. There will be some inter-team dynamic between the two bounded contexts, as well as some integrations. Considering that there are two ubiquitous languages involved, each line represents the translation or mapping that exists between the two languages. When talking about context mapping, what is of interest to us is what kind of inter-team relationship and integration is represented by the line between the bounded contexts. This leads to different kinds of mapping that might be required depending on the situation. To name a few, we could have partnership between teams, shared kernel, customer-supplier, conformist, anti-corruption layer, open host service, to name some of them. These are all patterns that are encompassed in the context mapping topic. A shared kernel is normally the intersection between two or more bounded contexts. This normally comes to light after some refinement and discussion and involves creating a new boundary with a subset of the domain model that the teams agree to share. We should keep the kernel small and avoid changing it without consultation with the other teams. The anti-corruption layer is also a very useful pattern, applicable mostly when we should communicate with third parties. Its purpose is to protect and isolate your model from foreign concepts. In practical terms, this means creating an interface that fits your business needs. The concrete implementation outside the domain layer will deal with the translation required for the integration. To wrap up this topic, watch out for the integration needs that might be required. There are several integration patterns that can be used at this point. This required careful analysis.